Deep breath, everybody. We are in what I would call a bull market dip. And with that, I don't know if you've been in bull market dips before. With that comes a lot of volatility, a lot of just emotional type of roller coaster stuff when it comes to, for me, especially as a content creator, sentiment, the comment section. And where we are right now is interesting because we have on-chain data to back up what is actually happening right now from a sentiment perspective. I want to talk about that. We're going to talk about Bitcoin price action on the short term. And we're also going to really zoom out and look at the momentum oscillators on Bitcoin. What's actually happening right now as it relates to previous cycles. Big news out of Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse meeting with Donald Trump. Crazy big for XRP. I wanted to take a glance at XRP charts, and I want to look at Cardano charts. So hit the subscribe, hit the like on the way in. One of the foundational things I want to look at in this video is, and I want to start here, is the US dollar currency index. Now, we've talked a lot about if the US dollar is about to top out, as it did in Trump's first term, when he was saying the dollar is too strong, we might be in for just insane timing for a very, very solid bull market. Now, we might go a little bit higher, but as you know, I did a video last night, Trump saying very recently, yesterday, interest rates too high. So we're getting a very similar signal from Trump days before his inauguration once again. Now, zooming out on all of this, I know we're in this bull market dip. Things are looking red. There's red candles everywhere. I saw this on-chain data. This explains a lot of what's happening. Bitcoin tourists are selling. Short-term Bitcoin holders have sold 23,200 Bitcoin at a loss in the past 24 hours. This is so telling. And I saw this right after I posted this. I took some snapshots on YouTube. Go look at the YouTube comments, everybody. Look on this video. I don't know. I think I'm at a record-breaking hater level right now. And I just posted this, not trying to give attention to negativity, but the amount of hate I'm getting in the comments must be some kind of indicator. And it really does seem like an indicator. When the negativity starts getting as high as it is, please stop posting videos. It's over. Stop confusing people. When I start getting these things, that is a very, I think, telling signal that we should pay attention to. Now, to sum all of that up, what I just talked about, Mike Alford posted this, and this will play into the pivot to the US dollar into Bitcoin price action. Looks like the powers that be are going to let the dollar run up and yields to spike until something major breaks. Less than 2 weeks until the inauguration, and then it will be addressed with more quantitative easing, money printing, modern monetary theory, etc. Same story on repeat. Bitcoin is the antidote. Money printers coming on. And so I like what he said here because it's good macro analysis. Mike's always dropping that macro analysis. But not only do I like it from that reason, but I like it because it plays into this chart. The US dollar could run up higher. If you look at this, I took the fractal from last, 2 cycles ago when it started falling after Trump came into office. I just took it from over there and I placed it here. And you can see we're in a very similar, I saw this posted on X. I don't have the account up, but somebody posted this very just kind of simple broadening pattern. And we're in a very similar pattern leaning into the Trump inauguration. And what's so insane about it to me is this is right at altcoin season triggering. And last cycle, it was right before altcoin season triggering this upper trend line touch. And the thing is, maybe we do go higher, as Mike was just saying. I don't know. We're going to track this. But if this starts topping out with Trump coming into office, and maybe it's a couple more weeks, like Mike said, what is going to happen with risk on assets like Bitcoin will be, I think, absolutely incredible for the bull market. So now we talk about Bitcoin price, and then we'll look at XRP, we'll look at Cardano. But even that story of the US dollar, if it's going to keep going up, and just say that really impacts Bitcoin to the sense that it's not going to be sideways, it's definitely not going to be up. If it impacts Bitcoin over the coming weeks, and Bitcoin actually starts making the technical move to the inverse head and shoulders neckline. This is a move I've been talking about a lot. If you've been watching my YouTube channel, maybe this is what happens. And And I don't even want to know what this data is going to look like, what short-term holders, and this isn't just Bitcoin, by the way, everybody. I imagine this is exactly what's happening with altcoins too. Short-term holders are selling at a loss. I think they're getting very much freaked out of the market. And I think it's going to be, and many others think it's going to be a very bullish 2025 when you really zoom out on things. Now, but let's just say Bitcoin starts falling to that area. There's going to be some type of capitulation happening within Bitcoin, within altcoins, and then I think at that moment, Trump's in office, we start getting what Mike's talking about playing out. We get a really nice bounce, and we could continue maybe into the bull market. That could be one scenario, and that's not even guaranteed. Now, with that being said, I did want to look at the daily chart, of course, without even talking about the visit to that neckline that we just looked at on the RSI. I just want to point out, we're in a kind of just a consolidation of structure on Bitcoin charts, and maybe Bitcoin bottoms out, like, between now and $92,000, and then we're making a move back to the upside, and we're testing an upper trend line, and maybe we get a breakout to the upside. That's in play. This is why on the short term, if we're going to look at things, we can track short-term structure, but on the daily chart on Bitcoin, what I really wanted to look at was this. And I'm going to zoom out a lot to do this because I noticed something, and that is to say the daily RSI across the cycles. So I've been very intrigued with comparing last cycle for Bitcoin. And the timing of it, the general move of it across these cycles looks very similar. But I've been intrigued with comparing last bull market to 2 cycles ago bull market, the Trump bull market. And I found kind of another data point. And it's mainly because I was just looking at the daily RSI, and I'm like, man, what's this daily RSI going to do right now, right? Are we going to get a big breakdown, and we're going to really start maybe approaching oversold? And the reason why that kind of became interesting to me is because if you go and we scroll back to last cycle, you can see here's altcoin season, kind of around where we are. Bitcoin didn't really make any powerful moves like that. It was more just like lower lows, right? Lower highs. And it was very just kind of bearish divergence looking on the RSI. But if you go to the momentum oscillator 2 cycles ago, way more volatile in terms of the dips. Look at these dips on the daily. It's very ugly. I'm sure a lot of people getting shaken out each dip, right? And with that being said, though, look at the RSI. Look how clean the resets are. Boom, boom. And look at that. And even after these moves, bull market not over, you can just see, look at this. Oversold, bounce to overbought. Oversold, bounce to overbought. But look at the volatility. Look at the dips. And I am genuinely curious if we're going to get more of a movement like this cycle. These are 40%. There's almost a 40% dip. Here's one is like almost a 40% dip. You see the volatility there. And I know generally we definitely like to think that things become less volatile over time, but maybe the percentage losses and gains become less, but the RSI might move very similar. And that's why I'm kind of curious of this next move. If Bitcoin kind of does capitulate to that neckline area or even this lower high Fibonacci, if we make that move and Bitcoin just starts falling into overbought in the daily, I know it's going to freak a lot of people out. I know there's going to probably be even more negativity in my comments, but I don't know. That would be, if it's happening at this stage of the cycle, in the coming weeks even, this would be an incredibly bullish indicator. And I think it's something worth paying attention to. I really wanted to mention that because there's going to be so much fear in that environment. But if Bitcoin, at kind of the beginning of this Trump administration and the race of governments to buy Bitcoin and ETF inflows and truly big money probably buying fear, if we're hitting over sold on the daily oscillator at this moment of the cycle, if it happens, I should say, that's going to be a bullish indicator. That will be a full-length video talking about it if we get there. So let's just pay attention. I'm just watching Bitcoin kind of consolidate right now, see what it does. It's a dip, everybody. This is Bitcoin. You zoom out on a Bitcoin chart right now, and you're just like, there's red candles everywhere. This is what consolidation looks like. Look, red candles right there. Was that the end of Bitcoin? No. It was pain sideways for a while, but was it the end? No. Red candles there. Was that the end for Bitcoin? Red candles here. Look, red candles here. This is like every other day there's a red candle, it seems. Let's pivot over. This is Brad Garlinghouse. Great dinner last night with Donald Trump. Strong start to 2025. Crazy picture, everybody. Crazy picture. Because if you look at, here's altcoin season being triggered, Bitcoin dominance falling. You look at it compared to last cycle, at this moment, interestingly enough, XRP was actually bouncing and kind of consolidating into the 20-week at this moment last cycle. Huge dip there. I think almost 50% is what that is, if we can measure that really, really quick. Yeah, around 50% dip, 20-week moving average, about to go higher, right? And right now, altcoin season, pulling into consolidating. The 20-week is still all the way down here, but we're getting a moment of bull market consolidation. But what's different? This is different. Brad is having dinner with the incoming president, and back here, man, XRP just straight up attacked by the SEC, right? Under attack, being delisted from exchanges, and still going to perform a little bit in the bull market. What do you think XRP is going to do right now, everybody? You think this is over? You think the bull market is over? And I say that within context of, you know what? Maybe we get just insane consolidation and dip. I'm not one of those people that is turning bearish on crypto right now. It's just not going to happen. Even in this environment where we might get downside or a more volatile kind of move to the 20-week moving average is 45% away. Maybe it's a slower trickle down. Maybe it's another 30% drop for XRP as it meets the 20-week moving average. I don't know what it looks like, but I'm not becoming a macro bearish person right now. The industry has waited the entire, length of time crypto's been trading for this moment, for what is happening right now, for this pendulum shift. So XRP just looking really good. Let's give things time to consolidate. But what huge news for XRP, Ripple, XRP holders, just incredible. And really, I posted the CEO of the number 3 largest crypto just had dinner with the incoming president. Altcoins are going to explode because you better believe this is very good for altcoins, everybody. It's awesome for XRP, obviously, but this is huge for altcoins. And so, obviously, one of my favorite altcoins, Cardano. I want to do just a quick analysis on it because the technicals of Cardano right now playing out really nicely. And again, this plays into the bull market dip kind of conversation that we're having. ADA just exited this multi-year consolidation area down here. Insane pain for years, right? Just so much pain down there. And I'm sorry, this is a daily chart. What I mean to do is this multi-year consolidation. Insane pain. Y'all were there. Many of you were there, I should say. Just exited that, right? We have our first leg up for ADA after years of redistribution. And now we're in the bull market consolidation. And I think a lot about this post. Short-term holders, this is a Bitcoin data, but short-term holders selling crypto. And I wonder how much of that is happening with something like ADA right now. And just look, ADA's at prices, it was at, what is this? 5 days ago. ADA's at prices that it was at December 10th, around a month ago. It was not that long ago. It was like a month and a half ago. ADA was breaking this area to the upside and people were so bullish. And now we're consolidating around this area and a lot of people are turning very bearish. And we're getting a reset on the RSI. The momentum oscillator is very good. I mean, it was hitting overbought all the way back here in November, right? So just remember, we hit overbought and now we've been consolidating on the RSI. This is, in my view, a bull market reset, and I think altcoins in general are doing this, and it might be more pain. It might be more sideways. But we have structure now that's been forming. We've been tracking ADA out of this. And if you remember, I covered this yesterday, but we had this falling wedge, and we were speculating a revisit to this lower high Fibonacci, and it happened. We got a revisit to the lower Fibonacci. It put in this new trend line swing high. So we have kind of this falling channel now for ADA. We have this consolidation back down to moving averages. So even in the short term, we're still tracking to see if ADA will hold support at the moving average area. The 20-day is right around 94 cents, 94 and a half, and the 50-day is right around $1.01. So this range, very interesting to see if ADA can maybe hold it and bounce back above it. But if not, everybody, we could fall below it and we can test. And this is something we've talked about, the breakout out of the wedge and then the pullback, throwback to the wedge. We can test that. All the while, is it of no surprise right now, Cardano consolidating all within the bull market doors, upper end around $1.20, just call it $1.23, $1.25, lower end around 77 cents. And this is what ADA was doing last cycle at this moment, consolidating right below the upper end of this bull market doors, putting in structure, a lot of volatility. If you zoom in on that, a lot of red candles, a lot of people, I'm sure, just freaking out. And right now, ADA is doing something very similar, putting in structure right at the lower end of these bull market doors out of nowhere. There's a lot of bearishness because of this. Out of nowhere. And I don't know if it's now or not, but it can just absolutely break out. And altcoins can break out and explode to a new leg up. And the bears will be shocked, I'm sure. Wanted to just put this video out there as we kind of just go through the dip. It's such a roller coaster ride, especially for me as a content creator, just watching all of the emotion that is out there right now. It's like, it's next level. It's next level. I'm still learning after all these years, 7 years, I think to the day I started the YouTube channel, or yesterday. I'm still learning to filter it, but hopefully I'm starting to slowly get better at it. And truly, even the haters, I love y'all. I love y'all. I really hope you have a good week. And I really want to see everybody win. So if you're out there, hit the subscribe, hit the like, turn notifications on as we continue to track these markets. Zoom out. That's what I'm doing. I'll see you all in the next video. God bless.